Films of the local fire brigade turning out were an essential feature of the cinematograph programme at the time. Mitchell Kenyon filmed such features in every town they visited. Cork Fire Brigade Turning Out is a staged reenactment of a fire rescue filmed with the cooperation of the local fire brigade. It was described rather dryly by the Cork Examiner as a series of the Cork Fire Brigade turning out to a big fire and the work they are at. The film begins with the escape ladder being pushed into position in the middle of the road and out of camera view. An organiser signals for the brigade to move, and the escape ladder, pushed by the fireman, leads the way, followed by two appliances, each drawn by a single horse racing from the station. More horse-drawn engines follow, interrupted by excited onlookers. The scene of the fire. The action unfolds as the firemen come to put out the blazing inferno. The firemen attempt to put out the fire, much to the amusement of the watching spectators who have come to see the action. Rescue attempt, as one, then two, then up to 4 firemen emerge from the gate, all carrying their precious cargoes in a fireman's lift to safety. This final sequence appears to be a close-up of the previous sequence, as again the smoke is billowing out of the doorway of the building. Again we see the fire brigade arriving to put out the fire, but in this film we can see the animated actions of a small boy right of centre who's captivated by the action unfolding in front of his eyes. The firemen start to put out the blazing inferno, and the small boy jiggles with excitement and then applauds in appreciation as they battle the flames. Then the heroic firemen rescue the people who are trapped in the building, as the small boy pushes aside an onlooker to get a better look at the action unfolding. Close-up scenes of the firemen and the rescued people in what appears to be their bed garments. Congregation leaving St. Patrick's Church in Cork, 1902, captures the affluent Sunday morning churchgoers assembling outside one of Cork's finest classical buildings, built in 1836 and designed by G.R. Payne. The camera provides us with a shot of the bottom of its classical portico, supported by 6 Corinthian columns. The middle-class prosperity of Cork is there to see as the churchgoers parade on the top of the steps in all their Edwardian finery. The majority of the views of Cork captured by Mitchell Kenyon reflect the middle-class prosperity of a city with its economy and development firmly rooted in the British Empire. A world inhabited by residents of the suburbs of Montenotte, Tivoli and Blackrock, seen leaving St. Mary's Dominican Church in Cork 1902 on a Sunday morning in mid-May, and then shown at the Cork exhibition on May 23rd. Here, in a series of panning shots, smartly dressed men and women parade down the steps to be greeted by liveried servants in carriages waiting outside the church. A lavish parade of probably the local boys' brigade playing to welcome back members of the Munster Fusiliers on their return from the Boer War. The Munster Fusiliers were an infantry regiment who came back from South Africa in July 1902 to their home barracks in Cork. The barracks would be later known as a place of conflict during the Civil War, when it was burnt down by those opposed to the Irish Treaty and Partition. The Munsters, as they were known, were recruited from Ireland's southern province of Munster, comprising the counties of Clare, Cork, Kerry, Tipperary, Limerick and Waterford. The Fusiliers dated back to the 1760s and fought in many important campaigns, including both South African wars and the Great War. This procession reminds us that the Munster Fusiliers were only a small representation of the 30,000 Irish soldiers who fought on the side of the British in the Anglo-Boer War.